This is Jonathan Aggoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined over Zoom by former Cruiserweight World Champion, Sky Sports' very own Johnny Nelson. Do you know how many out of interest you filmed? Gloves
Do I know
how many you've actually...
Really, no, I'd say about 30.
Do you have any particular highlights that stand out?
And that to me was Dylan White and Derek Chisora when it kicked off and the screen had to go to black because it really got bad. The stuff that happened off camera was hair-raising. Carl Froch and George Groves, that was probably one of the first ones that really set the gloves are off the light and got the public's attention. Shit. And for me as well, I thought, these guys are like, yes, I like this. And it's one of those shows where you cannot bullshit your way through it. You can't bullshit your way through and make out as though you dislike somebody and get on the show and put on an act. You can't do it. It won't. The show won't let you do that because you'll get exposed. And it really shows the chinks if someone's a nice guy, if someone's a nasty guy. And I actually like that. I think it's based on, the gloves are off, it's based on gym talk, gym chat. Whereas if you were in a boxing gym and you had the likes of, well, my day was, there was Princess Mohammed, Ryan Rose, myself, Fidel Castro. A lot of us all in the gym, just gym chat, who sparred with who, what. But that is a show. If you're a fan, listen to it thinking, fuck, he did that, shit, he did that. That's a show. So it's that conversation taken from a gym to a table. And that's it. And if you're doing something like that, you've got to... if you're doing something like that, you've got to make sure you know what you're talking about. You've got to understand even things that aren't said. Understand body language. Understand how things can ignite in a heartbeat, and that's why it'll always be riveting if it's done correctly.
Yeah, I mean, even from sort of broadcaster aspect as a presenter, it's quite a skill to know sort of when to sort of interject sort of the line of questioning. Have you sort of seen improvements in yourself and the way you've sort of handled situations?
So the only reason why I get it is because I know that from being both sides of the ropes, I know that when you're viewed by somebody that's a reporter, you don't respect it. I know these guys don't respect reporters. They'll give them an answer, what they want, or they'll be able to shock them with something shocking to think, oh, God, the reporter will think that'll do. You can bullshit a reporter. You can't bullshit someone that's already been in the game. So fortunately, I'm in a position where the guys know that. So the stuff they'd probably say to a reporter that's never laid gloves on is stuff they wouldn't say to me, or vice versa. So I'm probably in a good position because I hopefully have the respect of a lot of fans because I have done it, and it's hard to respect somebody that hasn't done it. You might pay lip service, but it's hard to respect someone that hasn't done it.
Just moving away from that, a couple other talking points have been going on. David Haye said to Behind the Gloves that the only fight that he would consider returning for would be the winner of Joshua and Fury, as well as Tony Bellew said that, about a possible fight with Andy Ruiz, both perhaps tongue-in-cheek, I don't know. What were your thoughts on these comments?
I think I could see Andy Ruiz and Tony Bellew, I could see actually happening.
Yeah.
In all honesty, don't write Tony Bellew off in this because I know from a cruiserweight fight in heavyweights, you can outbox most of them. If they've got height and reach and power on you, then you're up against it. But if you've not got height on you, you're beaten. As long as you've got movement and you've got boxing ability and you've got confidence in what you're saying. So I understand what Tony sees and why he says it, even though he might get a bit of backlash from the so-called purists or people that's supposed to know what they're talking about. For David Haye, I think David Haye's comfortable in his skin where he is this side of the ropes. Of course he'd want that, want to do that. Who wouldn't want to be put in that position? But I think David Haye is establishing himself outside the ropes as on the other side of the ropes and the business side of it.
Another fight that's also been rumoured is someone you know quite well, Kell and Terence Crawford for the world title. How would you see that fight going, Johnny?
Great fight. Unfortunately, Kell's in a position now where he's a great scout, so we'll get a couple of great opportunities against some big names because I look and think this guy's been there, done that. At one point, he was riveted to be the best in our division. I want to fight him because they'll think he's not as good as what he was. And Kell isn't as good as what he was, but he's still got a lot more left than what you realise. So I could see that realistically happening. And Kell is really up for that because Kell is looking at the longevity, how long he's got left in this game, what he's got to give. And I think, well, if I've got enough, it should be enough to beat these guys. If it isn't, I'm done. So I could see that realistically happening.
If that fight doesn't happen, do you think there's still enough interest for an Amir Khan fight?
There always will be, but I think we're sick of the romance. So it will always be mentioned, but it ain't never going to happen. And of course, the appetite will be there. It won't be as big as what it could have been 3 years ago. But it won't happen. So to even give it airtime now, we're just teasing just teasing ourselves. It just won't happen.
Why do you think that is?
Amir Khan doesn't want it. And now you've got two guys that box for a living. That's what they do. You've got two guys. That's what they do. That's how they. And so if the fight's ever going to happen, it's going to happen. You don't keep making up one excuse after another why the fight's not going to happen. So one day you've got to wake up and smell the road and think, you know what, it's not going to happen. I get it. And I think Amir Khan is probably fits that mold perfectly, where you just know it ain't going to happen.